What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another iOS 13 version, bro. iOS 13.1.2 just came out, which is pretty impressive for Apple. Back on iOS 12, they weren't really releasing too many iOS updates, to be honest. Of course they did, they went up all the way to 12.4.2 and they're still releasing them. But back throughout even from September to June, they released way more betas than they should have in my opinion. But with iOS 11, they actually were releasing a version all the time, trying to fix so much stuff. And with iOS 13, they're kind of doing the same thing. So iOS 13 right now is reminding me a lot more of iOS 11 than it is on iOS 12. But I find iOS 13 to be way more stable than iOS 11. Now in this update, it wasn't too big. I did try to take a screenshot of the update, but knowing me, you guys already know, I forgot to do it. I took the estimated time screenshot, but the update was only 42 megabytes coming from iOS 13.1.1, so not a big update at all coming from the previous version. If you're on iOS 13 or you're on iOS 12, it's going to be a much bigger version, but coming from 13.1.1, very, very small. Now, Apple did fix a couple things. I wasn't really affected by them on any of my iPhones, but that doesn't mean you guys weren't affected even on iPhone 7, which I've had a lot of issues with, you guys already know. But I'm really happy with this version so far because I didn't run into any boot loops, I didn't run into any battery problems, I didn't run into anything like that, so that's always good news. Now they did fix a couple things. One of them was actually within the camera, so some people apparently were having issues with their camera. They weren't able to take photos or whatever the case was. Apple now did fix that, so if you have that issue has now been patched. Another thing actually with some people with their flashlight, apparently they weren't able to turn on their flashlights, but now, as you can see, if you can see from the back, I'm able to turn my flashlight on and off, so that's really cool. I'm really happy about that. I didn't have that issue before, but some people might have had that issue, so that's really, really important to note. Some people were also having issues with their HomePods with running Siri shortcuts through them. Apple has now fixed that as well, so if you ran into that issue before, you would now have that patched up. Another weird one, which didn't affect me in this specific update, but it did affect me in a previous version a while ago on iOS 11. Some people's cars were not connecting to Bluetooth, so they were not able to sync their cars up with their vehicles, some people were not able to sync their vehicles with their iPhones. They weren't able to put on the music or whatever, which happened to me back on iOS 11 a couple years ago. But since then it's been patched, and I guess Apple somehow brought it back, but now it's been patched again, so you won't have that issue basically. Now I did run a benchmark, and on the previous version I had a multi-core score of 185,648, which is an extremely high score. I was not expecting to get that high, but now I reran it and it did go back down to 134,336. So for some reason, it went up all the way from 13.1.1, then it went all the way back down, crashing down on iOS 13.1.2. So if you update, do I notice the big difference? Do I notice it's slower? No, numbers come and go. I don't know why that happened. Maybe it was a glitch in the Antutu, maybe it was a glitch in something else, but as far as I can tell you, if you're on iOS 13 or 13.1.1 or 13.1 whatever, I would recommend you guys to update. It's a pretty crucial update. It's a lot more security bugs, a lot more security fixes, so I would tell you go ahead and update. But if you're waiting for a jailbreak or something, stay on the lowest version you can. You guys already know this. Stay on 13, stay on 13.1, but for everyone else, that's a very small amount of people who even watch my videos, so I would tell you go update to 13.1.2. That's probably the safest route. But either way, man, that's pretty much it. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you have any questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section below. Hit that subscribe button as well. You guys already know I'm still doing my iPhone XR giveaway. I always forget to say it. I'm giving one of those away to one of you guys randomly. Click the second link down in the description. It'll take you to a video. Watch that video in its entirety. It'll explain exactly how to enter. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.